Good evening, and welcome to Golden Compass Tarot. We've got a bit of a different setup today, and a request for a reading. And since we're doing it this way, it gives an opportunity to consider how we can ask of the deck to hopefully get an answer that's still helpful. The individual that asked is not here. However, they've asked the question, and I will reframe the intent. That's more in line with what the answers that the deck can offer. So the request that I got was, how can I not take life for granted? And so to reframe that, we can ask the deck, do you have any suggestions for me to find more enjoyment or alignment in my life, or recognize opportunities I may not have considered before? So that's the question for the deck. Now the setup is going to be a little bit different, so I'll get a quick explanation. These are the earth cards, so these go on either side. From the dust we come, from the dust we return to. The original tarot cards are in the middle. That's us. That represents our challenge. Above, there's going to be two crows. The one crow that was leading us from the past to where we are now, and the second crow to lead us from where we are now to where we'd like to end up. And finally, the animal deck. The one spirit will be at the top. That'll be the guiding energy that will see us through, or maybe help us give some clarity. And one at the bottom, which will be representative of the energy that is working against us. Now, you will have to also forgive me if some cards come up and I have to quickly reference my notes here. Some of these decks are still fairly new to me, and while I have a pretty good grasp on it, I want to make sure that I'm considering the meaning as appropriate as I can, so I can give the best reading to my friend. So, without further ado, let's see what the decks have to say. We'll just move these over here for now. Okay, so where are we coming from? This is our starting point, followed by us. And so if you're looking at this, you will probably have realized that there's a kind of a complete earthly balance to this. We've got the earth, we have ourselves, we have our guides of wisdom, and finally the animals that we share and inhabit this world with. Which is representative of, if we are looking for meaning, sometimes all we may have to do is stop, pause, and take a careful look around and see maybe if the world isn't already trying to tell us something when we feel a little bit lost. So, as it's good practice with the cards, it makes it for more meaningful and interesting experience whenever we are out and about and interacting and such. Got a little nudge there. Okay, we could also make this a lot more pointed and simply say, how can I consider to find more gratitude? So, without further ado, let's begin. So, the first card is joy and music, and I haven't seen that one for a while, so just bear with me for a second here. Yeah, music. Okay, so rhythm, flow, which I think is fairly meaningful in what you're asking here as well. If you're clearly not feeling like you're fulfilled, then the rhythm needs to change. The song we're playing is not serving or not helping us. So let's see where we're going next. And we've got the Five of Wands, of course, and the Five of Wands is conflict, more specifically conflict with passion. So I mean, right there, that's another one that measures up pretty good. And I think this is a pretty telling reading so far, and we're only 2 cards in here. So let's see what the Crow is going to say, bringing us from the past to the present. So we've got some abundance. See, we've got here some crows, and they're eating a fish, and there's all kinds. They know to go to the harbor. Crows are mostly a land animal, however they know also that fishermen bring catches into the sea, so they know how to spot the opportunities. So now as we walk back again and retrace our steps, consideration of a harmony, because we're in conflict with ourselves, which may make it a little bit trickier or challenge to see abundance or those opportunities. We may be fixated somewhere else, you know. So another thing with this one as well, sword that I just considered is that would tell me also as well it could be an environmental thing, because again, crows are more, you see them in woods, but in this case they're out by the beach here. So is your environment maybe stifling? And if so, what would it take to kind of maybe change that? Or is there things that you have in your own power, control, to be able to influence where you are right now? So those are considerations as well. And then of course we've got the 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords, just bear with me here for a second. I kind of remember what this one is, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, so there's a warning or a foreboding here. So again, this is the present. And where that fits is right now, I mean, clearly you see a lack or recognize there's some change that needs to be done. So, and so looking at that, then maybe it's regret over missing an opportunity, or maybe recognizing that maybe the grass might look greener on the other side as well. That could also fit as well, because if you're stuck in a place, that means could also suggest a comparative thing now as we go through this journey a little bit further here. So let's see where the next crow wants to take us. Mischief. So I don't know what you follow or what you watch, but I have seen examples of this. The crows, they like to pick at creatures, even though cats, they like to chase, catch, maybe possibly eat crows. The crows, they can't help but stir the pot a little bit. They'll go and do flybys where they kind of catch onto their back, or they'll yoink their tail and fly off. Still very relatively harmless though in that sense. So what I would say there is, just go have fun, let loose a little bit. Jokingly, be responsibly stupid, as I like to tell people as well. Just kind of be childish, but not malicious or negligent. And maybe that's an opportunity too to jostle the old brain waves up and see if that maybe helps to, again, adjust the rhythm here. And let's see where the crows are going to take us then with this little devious game of mischief. Well, the King of Wands. So you're the ruler of your passion. And so maybe that's all it's going to take, is just to kind of grab that can and shake that can up a little bit. Could just be stuck, and something new, something different may become apparent. And that's, again, considering, maybe this is a missed opportunity, but really reflect on that now, and think back and say, what were some reasons that I overlooked this, and is it maybe just the mindset and what you chose to be focused on. So this time when it comes around, you'll be able to pour your absolute will into it. But before we do that, let's see what the card suggests, what we put our energy into. Voice is number 25. Okay, let's see what that is. That's another one I haven't actually seen in quite a while. You're really making me do my homework here a little bit, or doing my research. Okay, so voice again is encouraging here to sing your song, speak your truth. So if it's something that feels good to you and it feels harmonious and it's not malicious or harmful towards anyone else, and take it and run with it. I mean, the King of the Wands here, this is pretty good going ahead in the future here. There's, some suggestive things where there's quite a bit of a rhythm change here going on, but at the end, it's like, okay, once you kind of jostle it up a little bit, it's like, what kind of good comes out of that? And can you take it and really just run with it and enjoy it and not care what anybody else thinks either? That's the whole idea as well. Like, speaking your voice is kind of like speaking your truth. Not everyone's going to agree with us all the time, and that is perfectly okay. And in fact, that is exactly how it needs to be, because if we are all the same, then life's pretty boring, pretty meaningless. So it opens up avenues for conversation, which again leads to more creative avenues as opposed to being stuck. So I would implore you to go on a little adventure of your own here. Okay, we're almost getting to the end of the story, so let's see first. Let's see what's dragging us down here first. The buffalo. Okay. Just give me a second here. Bear with me again. I know what the positive side of the buffalo is. I just gotta need a reminder of what I got down here for the conflict side. Yeah, so the buffalo says it's what we got down there is if it's up as a opposition card, restless, lacks. Oh dear, hang on a second. I had it here. Lacks gratitude. So there you go. Taking life for granted is a lack of gratitude. So it's funny that that was the question, because that is exactly the card that came up, which was quite interesting. So I would say this is a fairly pointed reading so far. With all that, let's see who's going to lead us to finding our voice, and which is maybe a consideration on best how to leverage that. The bear. And the bear represents awakening, spiritual awakening. The bear comes out of hibernation to a brand new world once again, a whole new season. So for you, my friend, have some fun, find your passion. In the symbolic reference, sing, dance, enjoy things as they come. Just say how you feel. Like I said, as long as it's true and intrinsic to you, and enjoy, because with that will come new perspective. You'll see the world in a entirely new frame, maybe different perspective, where the bear goes to sleep and everything is drab and brown and dreary, much like the taking life for granted, not being appreciative. Whenever the bear wakes up in the springtime, it's bursting forth with new green life, all the animals are back out to play, and just everything is good and positive. The snow is melting, it's getting warmer. So for you, that's what I would say is that's another consideration as well. So as you're doing this, and this kind of does line up with what we talked about with these two cards particularly and specifically, is when you have that awakening, as in maybe just stop and look around and say, you know what, I haven't noticed this before. And say that a few times and say, you know, what good can I notice here? And once we kind of start that train of thought bit by bit, then maybe our picture will change a little more from the drab brown leafy, leafless fall season into more of a vibrant and lively spring one.